I'm walking on my least favorite trail of all the trails that I go on today, but I just didn't have time to go to another one, so I got to use what I have, right? Use the resources I have. I was talking to my sister the other day. We were talking about how culture is created through language. And because culture is created through language, that sets a culture's values, what is acceptable, what's not acceptable, and how we feel about ourselves. And because language creates culture, part of our culture are titles. Now, I don't know if titles are as important in other cultures throughout the world as it is in the American culture, but in the American culture, as you know, titles are everything. When we talk about ourselves to describe ourselves to other people, we use our titles. Oh, I'm Denette, I'm a mother. I'm Denette, I'm a CEO. I'm Denette, I'm a secretary. I'm Denette, I'm a stripper, whatever. And when we talk about others, we describe them with their titles. Oh, that's Denette. She started a nonprofit. That's Denette. She's a sister. She's a brother, a father. So we have all these titles to define ourselves and other people. And so what I'm saying in this video is that titles are creating low self-esteem, and it's hurting it hurts our culture to have titles. And there's a couple reasons why, but one of them is because we have these titles, we start identifying with them. We start to think that it's part of us. You know, like I'm a mother, I'm a father. That is part of me. That is who I am. And so because that's part of me, like I'm a secretary, because that is part of me, that stops any kind of possibility and creativity to be anything less or more. Because I identify with being a secretary, that's who I am, that's what I am. I'm not going to think about being anything else because that's what I am at the moment in my life. So that kills all other possibilities. Not only that, you're not creative in another profession because that's not who you are. So that's just one way that titles are hurting our growth, self-esteem, and our country. Another example of how titles are hurting us is it becomes part of us, so that means it could be taken away. I don't get it. How can we be anything that could be taken away? It's like a body. We have eyes, we have lips, we have a nose, we have legs, arms. If one of those items get taken away, we don't have a full body. What does that mean? We cannot perform at 100% because we're missing something. It's the same thing, but internally with titles. I am a CEO. I am a mother. I am a father. I am a bartender. I am a receptionist. So I identify with those. That means, let's say I lose my job, I lose my company today. That means part of me is missing. Part of me was taken away. How am I ever going to be self-fulfilled if everything that I have a title for can be taken away? Because when we got here with just us. We didn't come here with any titles. So that means, that shows me right there that titles are they're not necessary. Not only that, but it's making us feel like it's part of us when it's not. So if you're a wife, you and your husband break up, you lost part of you. How long is that downtime? How long is that belief in your system that you're not good enough because something was taken away? It takes years to become complete again. And then a lot of times we just find something else to complete us, but that's a whole different video. So if we identify with these titles, we can never ever be self-fulfilled and be happy with having nothing. That's the biggest way that titles are hurting our self-esteem, our growth, and our country. The other way, the last way I wanted to talk about is, if we have a title that is perceived as negative or below society standards, let's say a receptionist, for example, let's say it had a perceived image in my culture that it's beneath everybody else, or it's not a good title. And if I'm a receptionist, how in the hell do you think I'm going to feel about myself? If I know that everyone looks down on that profession, and I am that profession because that's what I like doing, or that's just the job I'm doing right now, whatever the case may be, that is subconsciously letting myself know what the rest of my culture and society thinks of me. And that's what I'm going to think of myself. But also on the other extreme, let's say a CEO has a perceived better title, okay? So because I'm a CEO, many times I could feel like I am better than others just because my title has a perceived better image. It's killing us. It's killing our self-esteem. It's hurting us, and it's like unnecessary. We don't need titles. We don't need to identify with what we do. It's who we are. I am not what I do. I don't care if I were the president of the United States. I don't care how important my job may be. It's not what I am. What we are is kindness, love. We're everything that we were born with. What were you as a baby? And that's who you are. You weren't born with a pen in your hand. You weren't born with a company in your diaper. You weren't even born with a diaper. But you get my point. So I am curious I really want to know what your opinion is about this. Do you think language creates culture? And do you think titles are hurting us and our country as much as I do? There's no reason to have them. So what I do to practice this is I don't identify with anything that is of this world. And what I mean by that, I don't self-identify with what I do or what I have, because all of that will be taken away at some point to all of us. And then what? And then you're down. You're down for how long? And that downtime adds up throughout your life. You get down, and then something happens. You get down. I don't want any downtime. Why? Because I want to hit my goals. And that means I can't have downtime. That means I can't afford to self-identify with shit that's not going to last. You know what will last, though? Is character and who you are to people, which is love, light, passion, excitement, forgiveness. We are all those intangibles, and that's it. All right, so please comment. Let me know what you think, because this video is a little different than I normally do. It is longer than I normally do because I wanted to get more deeper into the explanation. And so tell me what you think.